Hello, everyone. Excited Utterance here. Usually I'm talking about pre-law stuff, but today I'm going to be talking some design stuff for you. And the reason I'm going to be doing that is because I have some requests. And one of the requests I've had is how to make a transparent overlay or PNG file. And that's been from some of my creators or content creator friends on YouTube. And they've seen some of these things that are used in the software that we use called Streamyard. And often they're used to sort of cover up something that is shared on a video file or something like that. And I'm going to show you an example in a moment. Now, before I get started, though, I'm going to say that today we're going to be using Canva. And Canva is it's actually a free software that you can use just off the internet. You don't need to download anything. You don't need to pay anything just to use the basic version of the software. And that's really great. If you just want to use it as it comes, you don't need to pay the subscription fee or anything, just to use the tools that I'm going to show you today. So no Photoshop or anything like that today, just the basics. Now, this is a bit of fun and a bit of a throwback, actually, because today I'm going to show you something from one of my great friends, and that is David from Making Law Simple, or MLS Law Show. And my friend also, Jamie, who you'll also see me streaming with quite often. And it's going to be a really good example of what we're going to be going through today. Now, by the way, you don't need to be a content creator or into YouTube streaming or anything like that to find today's tutorial helpful. You can use creating transparent PNGs really a lot in your just day-to-day work, because they're transparent PNGs, image files are useful, and I'll show you why. So anyway, I'm just going to share something with you, and let's go. Add this to the screen. Now this is a bit of fun, and I'm just going to press play. So this is a bit of a throwback to a few months ago, and my friend David and Jamie, they were covering a trial in Florida. And you can see that in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, so there was a guy on the stand who was testifying, and David was playing a little bit of a joke, and he had this fella who I can't remember his name. Sorry, I'm an Australian and I don't know all of the actors' names, but there's a fella who had a very similar look in the bottom left-hand corner. Now, the guy who is in the bottom left-hand corner, that is not part of the video that's being shared. So that is what's called a transparent PNG overlay. You can also see the words MLS Law Show at the top of the screen, and the little 10th anniversary icon. That's also a transparent PNG overlay. So those have been created in a separate software, and they've been saved as a transparent PNG and overlaid in the Streamyard software on top of the video file which is being played, and the two videos of David and Jamie over on the left-hand side, and the background, which is part of Streamyard. So it's just a big graphic that has those MLS Law Show and the little guy in the bottom left-hand corner, and nothingness. So basically, a graphic that's 1920 pixels wide and 1080 pixels high, nothingness, and that MLS Law Show, two little circles, and this little guy down in the bottom left-hand corner of the video screen. Just going to play you a little bit of it for a second, because A, it's a good example, and B, it's a bit cute and funny. So let's go.
Welcome, Jimmy.
Hey.
Hey, I saw you jump in and then you left us. So
Because a June bug got in my house and I had to log off and kill it.
okay. Well, thank God.
Oh my God.
I think I got that June bug, right? Please.
So that was a big
well, welcome. I know you guys have all been cheating on me on this trial, and we've seen all this before. So, but I'm glad you're here.
Come to this.
And so,
You parked far away at night so that you could sneak up on him, and that's exactly why you parked.
So David played a bit of a joke on Jamie, and he changed the little picture in the bottom left-hand corner, and you can see my mouse now is referring to it. See my mouse?
The car that far away. No. You parked, rolled out of the vehicle, you put your cell phone in the trunk, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you did that because you knew there was going to be a brawl or a shootout, and you didn't want your phone to get damaged, right?
No.
Why did you leave your cell phone in the trunk?
Honestly, at this point, in my head, worst case scenario, maybe a fight, but I don't know.
So you have no real good answer other than there may be a fight, so my cell phone could get damaged, and I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. And then you get back in your car and you move the car up a little bit further.
Yes.
Wow.
I was wondering when you were going to notice Carol sent that to me. That was awesome.
You be.
That's good.
That's what they are, and that's about the size of it too.
Okay, that's funny. And so what David's done is he's gone and opened up this transparent PNG file, and he's changed the little picture that was in the bottom left-hand corner of where he knows this video is going to be playing. And he's changed out the picture that he had of that actor, and he's changed it to a big June bug, because Jamie earlier was talking about a June bug being in her house. Also, by the way, shout out to Feral Housewife, because Feral Housewife is the one who put together this little flashback to this trial footage that David and Jamie were covering together. I think it was back in June. And I'll just keep going just a little bit further because it's quite funny.
Compared to you right now on the screen.
Still a pretty good distance from Mr. Rudolph's house, and that's where you ultimately leave your car, right?
Yes.
And you testified in the direct examination that you pulled it up to quote unquote shorten your walk. Remember that?
Yes.
If you want to shorten your walk, why didn't you pull up right in your driveway?
Same answer before. I really didn't want to get off any other signs of aggression or anything like that.
That point. No. Okay. So at some later point is when you had that conversation.
Correct.
All right. I want to talk briefly about marriage. Okay. Have you ever been married?
Yes, I have.
Something has happened.
And was that to Mr. Rudolph?
No.
Was it to another man?
Yes.
Was Mr. Rudolph aware of your relationship with that other man?
Correct. Not the
Anybody
marriage,
else?
but he wasn't knowledgeable about the marriage, but he was knowledgeable about the relationship.
5 hours later.
And as you said, you called Daryl. There's yelling in the background.
What
You
is
identify
going
Mr.
on?
Rudolph's voice. What about Daryl Rudolph?
So she
He's
hadn't
there.
noticed all
I just
that
don't recall
time.
if he's upset. If he's
Yeah, that's
angry.
what the feelings
I think he was angry, saying like, "Oh, you have them pull up to my mama's house," and like they were saying something like that, dreadhead, nigga, like stuff like that.
So just so we're clear, did you delete any messages between you and Daryl Rudolph?
Wait. I want to identify the new one. Okay, so the new one, this is from Phil. If you notice, it's a June bug, but it's censored because it's nudity and it has cookies. Okay, just kidding. If you folks are interested in nudes and cookies, go to our Discord. Become a member and join the Discord.
Holy shit. Had anything to do with any firearms?
No.
Okay, so that's enough of that. But what David is saying is that if you want to join the Making More Simple network, go to his membership tab, which I'll put into the comments, and then you'll see that I'm actually part of the Making More Simple network as well. And yeah, there's cookies and nudes on there, and lots of other things. You'll get live alerts to all the channels on the network. Now, the reason I wanted to show that was because it's a really great example of the power of the transparent PNG. The transparent PNG allows you to have a giant picture or any size picture that has pixel information, and the pixel information is able to be completely opaque, partially opaque, or completely transparent. And you can use this in lots of different software to overlay on top of other pixel information, whether it be video information or whether it be static picture information. So let's get into it. Now, what I was going to just show you is if you have a video or something like that that you want to create a transparent PNG overlay, you need to first take a screenshot of it so that you are always going to make your transparent PNG to be exactly the same size. Now, what I've done as a starting point in order to show you is just going to rewind back to the beginning of this, just to a part where, say, David had just this square here, right? So you see my mouse? You should be able to see my mouse. Yes, you can. And so here, for example, I've got the video up full screen, and here you would do a full screen screenshot, and that should give you a screenshot of 1920 by 1080. So that is full screen. Now, once you've got that screenshot, make sure you know where your computer saves its screenshots to. If it's a Mac, it should save it to a little folder called Screenshots in your Documents folder, or to your Downloads folder. If you're on a PC, it should save it to your Windows Downloads folder. I could be wrong on that one. If I'm wrong, please put it into the comments. I'm not a Windows person. I'm a Mac person. But there is a standard folder for Windows where it puts it. Could put it on the desktop. They change these things regularly. Anyway, you need a full screen screenshot of that page so we can use it as a template. If it's a little bit off, it's not the end of the world, but it helps if it's perfectly 1920 by 1080. Right, moving on. So I'm going to now stop sharing that one. And I'm back. So that was the example of the video that we were looking at. And now I want to take you into Canva. Now, remember, you have your screenshot that you want to work with, and that is basically your template. That's all it's going to be, though. It's just a template. Now we're going to go into Canva. So I'm going to go and put that onto the screen. Here we go. So if you have Canva open, just go to canva.com. It's going to ask you to create an account if you don't have one already. Assuming that you don't have the subscription version of Canva, it's going to have little crowns all over everything saying that you can't use this graphic and you can't use that graphic unless you sign up for the pro version. Don't worry about that too much at the moment. I have the pro version because I use Canva a lot, but as long as you just go to the home section. So if you just go to this section here, and it should say, what will you design today? If you can't find that, go to the little burger icon, top left-hand corner. So show main menu there, and then you go to home, and that will bring you back to here. Cool. All right. Now, when you have this little blue section above, and sorry, I am going to be looking up this way because my second screen is here. It will show you any projects that you've worked on in the past. I've got a bunch of them here. And it will show you a few little folders down the left-hand side. You'll see that my name over here is the design trainer because I do some work under the name design trainer. I do this for a living, training people in design. And here you have the thumbnail that you would have seen when you would have clicked on when you came to this, this tutorial. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be creating a transparent PNG. Now, before I get right into that, I would like to actually, just going to go to my projects, which is the folder here underneath home. I'm going to go to projects. Projects, and this first one called Why a PNG file. and I want to actually just take you through why we are making a transparent PNG. Now, I've made this for you prior, and I thought because we're on the theme of bugs, why not have a ladybug, not a June bug. I thought a ladybug might be cute. And I wanted to just play this for you very briefly. So I'm going to press the present button and present for you. All right, so PNGs are raster image files. Okay, so raster image files are, and we touched on this in the last stream that we did, which actually was a live stream. So raster image files are made up of pixels, so little teensy weensy little squares. And pixels are also called rasters. So rasters and pixels are the same thing. By the way, I once had a cat called Pixel, and I also had a dog called Raster. Unfortunately, they're both no longer of this world, but they were great. They were great pets. So PNG files made of pixels that can hold transparency information. So if you have a look, this ladybug here, there's pixels that are making up this ladybug, and they're opaque, so you can't see through them. Now, see this checkerboard here. Now, a checkerboard generally signifies transparency, so there's nothing behind, right? Generally. Now, I'm just going to move on to the next one. So that's the difference between this bug coming into your document with a white background. So see how this has got a white background behind it? You know how sometimes when you bring in a new file, and maybe you've brought it into something like Word or PowerPoint, and you bring it in and you think it's got no background behind it, and you can put like another object behind, right? And you think, oh great, it's cool, it's got no background. But then when you bring it in, actually in reality, it's got this white background behind it. And you're like, ah, damn. So that's the difference between this bug coming into your document with a white background and see this little guy, right? The difference between that and coming in and no background. See that if it had no background and this little red box would move around behind it, it's see-through. Okay, so see-through means that it's truly transparent, right? So even though this is the same image and it's still saved with a boundary around here, right? The boundary contains pixel information that are transparent, so it has zero color content whatsoever. Okay, so this checkerboard that we were looking at earlier, the checkerboard generally indicates transparency, but it can just be a picture of a checkerboard. Sometimes it can fool you, right? So sometimes when you get on the internet and you search for transparent PNG or like ladybug with no background or ladybug transparent PNG, sometimes it'll come up with a picture that looks like this, right? And it'll look like it has this checkerboard behind it. But then when you actually save it and try to use it in some software like Canva, actually it comes in with just the checkerboard and you put something behind it and you still see the checkerboard. So it's just a picture of a checkerboard, right? So that's kind of fooling you. So strange things do happen. So follow my steps to make transparency happen for reals. Right, for reals. For reals. Okay, moving on. Okay. So I just made that little presentation for you in Canva to show you some things that Canva can actually do. By the way, I'll do another pre-record on how to make these little presentations in Canva one day, but not today. Okay. Now, I'm going to now go to this thing that I made, Streamyard template. Actually, before I even do that, I'm going to take you into my Streamyard to show you even more so what I want to do. And now you can even see me inside. Hey, look, there's two of me. Hey, it'll be on delay. Hey. I might just stop my camera there. Cool. Okay, so this is my Streamyard. This is the software that I use and a lot of people use for broadcasting via YouTube. So, and if you have a look, basically what you'll see is that if I were to say add a video to the stage, just going to do that, add to stage. Cool. All right, so there's a video that's been added to the stage, right? You can see that I've actually got an overlay already set up in my Streamyard. So I've actually got a few. There's one with a little making a little simple network sitting up here, but I've got a different one here and it's kind of cute and it's there and it's got myself and Salvador Dali and Jamie, who you just saw a moment ago. I have a little box down there which hides something that turns up quite often in our videos that we stream together. Some little pineapples, because that's a little bit of an in-joke that we have. So that, if you can see down here, you can see that that is what I've created. That is a little transparent PNG that has some little images in it, okay? This one here, if I change it over, that's a giant transparent PNG with only the Making a Little Simple Network logo in the top left-hand corner, right? Now, Streamyard have given us one. There it is, live with Streamyard, Streamyard live show. One comes with the software and it sits up there, top left-hand corner, and another one in the bottom right-hand corner. But the actual picture file is the size of the entire screen, right? So it's not one little picture in the top left-hand corner, and another picture in the bottom right-hand corner. It's one big picture, okay? So that's what you need to understand about this. We're not creating a bunch of little pictures, we're creating one big picture, right? So now I'm going to take you back to Canva and we're going to, actually we'll start a brand new document. So we'll go, here we are in Canva as if you're starting from scratch, okay? So we're going to go to the little burger menu, 3 little lines. I call it a burger because it's 3 lines of squish. And we'll go to there and should be able to show main menu. Hello, projects. I want to create a new project. No, okay, fine. You don't want to do it that way. Sometimes, I swear, they move all of the create a design, top right-hand corner. How about we do it that way? Sometimes they move things around and I can never work out where's the best place to tell it to do something. Okay, so instead we'll go to the top right-hand corner and go to the little purple button and we'll go with, it gives you a bunch of standard things that you can choose from. Sometimes I just like to start with a custom size, but in this case, I'll go with one of its suggestions, and that is a presentation. So 16:9. So if you go to presentation 16:9, and just make sure that it says 1920 by 1080 pixels, because we know that's what we're after, right? We know we want that. So we'll go with that 16:9, 1920 by 1080 pixels. So let's go there. By the way, in Canva on the browser edition, and there is a desktop app edition as well, there are about 100 different ways you can start a new document. That's why I was looking at the little burger before. You can also go to a menu. There's a little dialog box in the center, and there's also the button at the top right. So I think they think it makes it easier for you to have like a billion different ways that you can look for different places to find things. But personally, I prefer there to be less ways, especially if I'm teaching something. Anyway, so here we are. And now we have our brand new document. Little quick overview of how to find your way around Canva. Down the left-hand side, you have a bunch of little palettes. So you've got your design palette, you've got your elements palette. So if I just go to design, you'll see that you have a bunch of templates and things to use. I don't use these very much because, yeah, I'm a designer, so I don't really use the templates too much. You might use them a lot, but I'm not going to play with that much today. Elements. Elements are quite good. If you click on elements, just see them populate. You'll see things like graphics, tables, photos, videos. And if you're not signed up for the premium version, a lot of them will be sort of grayed out, or they'll have a little crown on them, which will say that you need to buy premium in order to use them. But there's still a lot of things you can use. Then if you go to text, you'll see that you'll have add a title, add a subtitle, default text styles, and some little things that are sort of pre-made for you. If you go to brand, I have my branding set up. So I have my logo, excited utterance, the colors set up, the fonts set up, and some photos that I generally use. If you don't have your brand set up, then you can do that, I think only if you have your premium membership. Then your uploads. You are going to definitely use uploads, and we'll use them today. So I already have uploaded the screenshot that we made a moment ago. So you would go and upload file, press the upload file, and you would go and get that screenshot. So I went and got the screenshot from here. So you go and get the screenshot. You can also drag and drop it. So I went and got the screenshot from that video that we were looking at earlier, and I just pressed open. So I've already done it. You would go and get yours, and there it would be sitting right there on the left-hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to drag it onto the page, and note that it just, look, it puts itself there. Okay. So you shouldn't really need to scale it up or anything like that. It just puts itself there. So that's good. So already we have for ourselves a template. It's really good. It's sitting there looking good. And we have a really good idea of where we might want to put anything that would be overlaid on top of this graphic. Now, next thing I would like to do here is I would like to lock this off, right? So there's two things about this. This is a little bit of a busy layout to work with, so it's up to you. I mean, I generally, if I'm working with a template like this, I would sort of select it and see up here. There's this thing called transparency. It's up above. It's up in this white palette section above here, and it says edit photo, flip, little info button, border style, animate, and then position. And right next to that, there's this thing called transparency. If I click on transparency, I can bring the transparency down, right? And you can see how it's getting lighter and lighter. That's a really good way to just make the whole layout a little bit less distracting so that I can work with the graphics that I'm going to put on top of it. So I think I might do that. I might just bring it down to about 40% or so. And then the next thing I'm going to do is click on it again. And I'm going to get these, see these little three dots? It's always this little square or rectangle comes up on top of the images that you put down. I'll just click on these little three dots that says more. And I'm going to go to the lock. So lock is about 2/3 down. And I'm going to lock this off. So I'm going to press the lock button. The reason I'm going to lock it is because I don't want to accidentally select it, right? Because I'm going to be working on top of this, and I don't want to be accidentally selecting this object over and over and over again. Okay, cool. All right, so that's the first thing. Next thing I want to do is I want to think about what I want to put on top of this in order to create my transparent PNG. And I've decided that instead of a June bug, I want there to be a ladybug. Cool. All right, so it's going to be a ladybug. And the other thing I might put on there is my own logo instead of MLS's logo. So how about I go and get a ladybug? So I'm going to now go over to elements. So if you go over to the very left-hand side, underneath the design, there is elements. So I'm going to go to elements. Ah, look, there's a ladybug already there, but I'll show you how to find it. So if we go into search and we search for ladybug, cool. There's lots of little ladybugs there. The one that I wanted was this one here. All right, so I'm going to grab this one. You can see it's got a transparency on it. There it is. Hey, it just comes straight in onto the screen. Nice. All right, so the ladybug, she's going in the wrong direction. So I'm going to take this ladybug and see how there's a little flip button up on the top there next to edit photo. So I'm going to flip the ladybug, flip him horizontal. Cool. And also I'm going to scale him down. So I can just grab the little right hand top corner. Scale, 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 scale. Nice. Scaling the ladybug. Scale you, scale you. Cool. Scaling, scaling, scaling. Nice, nice, nice. Lovely. All right, so we've got a ladybug. That's fine. Now I'm going to go back to my uploads. So uploads down there. All right, and I'm going to flick through. And now my logo, my own personal logo, I do have it in uploads somewhere, but I've also got it in my brand section. So I find it easier to find in my brand section, although you can just put it into your uploads like we looked at a moment ago. So you can just go and upload it. So there's my logo. I'm going to pop it there. And I can just scale it down like so. And I'm going to go and put it in this top left-hand corner. Like so. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. The other thing I'm going to add is, not that. The Making More Simple logo. There it is there. And again, I could just scale it down. Now I want to make sure that I make it small enough so that it doesn't cover too much of the video that I plan to show. And notice when I move things around, the little pink lines are starting to come up. So those pink lines are helping me to align objects, right? So see how they're actually bringing up the margin that's preset to the page. So I'm just going to note that, and I'm going to pay attention to it. And I think, yeah, I'll let it just snap to that margin. And I think just because MLS had his logo there, that doesn't really mean anything to me, because I'm not going to be using this background at all. I'm going to be making my own videos. So, yeah, I would prefer. Now, this margin that you're seeing, I can actually turn it on so I can see it all the time. I can go to the File menu, View Settings, and Show Margins. There we go. Now I can actually see that margin. And I think I would like, yeah, okay. Now, here's the thing. If I leave my logo there and more guests arrive, that logo is going to be covering it. So I'm just going to rethink that for a second. Do I want that there or not? See, David's probably noticed this before. Like if he's got this this overlay on and people arrive, then that logo that he has would have covered people up. So therefore, I wonder whether or not I'm probably better off making something over here. I'll just scale myself down. maybe I'm better off doing something kind of like that. If I even need my logo, I probably don't, but, oh yeah, or maybe I go like, do something more like this. That makes a bit more sense, doesn't it? Oops, cancel. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, yeah, that's probably better. Good stuff. Okay, I like that. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to consider the fact that this background photo can't be in it, right? So it was just there as a guide, but it's not going to be in the actual PNG that we're going to create. So I need to turn it off. And remember, it's locked. Okay, so remember how we locked it so that we didn't accidentally select it? So now I need to take it and unlock it and delete it. So I'm just going to click on it once and see how the little lock icon comes up. I can unlock it and I'm going to delete it. And this is what we have now. All right, so we have a full page that has a giant June bog and these two logos. Cool. By the way, we should probably save this. At the moment, it's just called Untitled Presentation. Go up to the top right-hand corner where its name is, and we'll call it PNG overlay with ladybug. Wonderful. We're nearly done. All we do now is we go to the share button in the top right-hand corner and we go to download. We press the download button. Now, this is important. We don't download it as a PDF. We download it as a PNG. And when we do it, we're very important, we press the transparent background. So we click transparent background and we press download. And we make sure we know where it's going. So mine has downloaded PNG overlay ladybug.png. Cool. Now, here's the big test. I should be able to take you into my Streamyard and show you it working. So now remember this one that I had for you before, my layout looked different. So I have my layout with my guests on the right. I'm just going to turn it to the standard layout, guests on the left. Cool. That's not standard. That one's standard. Nope. Nope. Where is it? Something kind of like that. That's the one. That was the one that David was using. All right, fantastic. And now I'm going to go and add my new overlay. So going to go and press the little plus button, add overlay. And it should just be sitting. Put it. Everything goes in just downloads. 2 seconds. Go over to my other screen to grab it. Overlay and extreme. Cool, PNG overlay ladybug. There it is. Go. And it's uploading here. There it is there. Ready, ready, ready for the big moment. Hey. So cool, so cool, so cool. All right, so if I were to press play and take that away, it works. It works, it works, it works. And so this is just a little, I'm obviously not got the sound on, but this is just a little video that is from some research I was doing for my Lindy Chamberlain stream last week. And now you can see that it's got a ladybug on it. It's got my logo on it, and it's got the Making More Simple network logo in the top right-hand corner. And yes, that would have absolutely worked perfectly fine for David and Jamie's Junebug stream. I hope this has been helpful. In fact, let me just close this down. I hope that's been helpful. And if you would like this this little presentation about why a PNG file, or if you have any questions, pop them into the comments. I'm also going to pop into the comments a link out to that video by Feral Housewife, and also over to MLS Network. Thank you so much for everything that David at MLS does. Also Jamie, she's a fantastic co-host, wonderful person to have around. Feral's amazing. Everybody in that community is wonderful. I'd just like to say, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Follow me on Twitter, all of the YouTubey things, like, subscribe, all that stuff. There'll be heaps more content like this. Usually I am providing 100% unqualified law commentary and blatant hearsay on this channel, but because I am in real life a graphic designer and a graphic design lecturer, tutor, I figure why not help people with a little bit of this in my spare time. So I do hope this has been helpful today, and yeah, please give me any feedback. I'd really like the feedback, and also requests for more on this. I'll be doing a live stream in the next few days where I'm going to be working on some more of Salvador Dali's channel graphics, and another live stream with David from MLS, Making More Simple, where we're going to do some Photoshop disasters, which is going to be just fun, just for fun. Have a great day, everybody. See you later.